new annual introductions at Parkway Gardens for 2010. The first plant here we have is a very large flowered new geranium introduction from the Calliope series. Just available in this lovely dark red color. It's a combination of mounding and cascading habit. Very neat, compact geranium. Will fill out till the bottom of the basket, but it's not going to be long and leggy, and quite a prolific bloomer. In the lobelia line, we have the new lobelia Techno Heat Electric Blue. Just a mass of these fabulous periwinkle or electric blue flowers. Heat tolerant, sun tolerant, and drought tolerant. Flowered all summer for us last year in our trial containers. A new euphorbia this year available called Breathless Blush, and this euphorbia is very interesting with the dark mottled foliage. There's some burgundy markings, and then just a mass of these white and pale pink flowers on top. Should be a very prolific flower, heat tolerant, deer and rabbit proof as well, and should be good for containers. In dioecious, we have a new very extremely large flowered diacia, and dioecious, this is flirtation pink. Dioecious are very sun tolerant, heat tolerant, and drought tolerant. It's performed very well for us in the past in our containers, but we're excited about the new large flowered variety. In petunias, we have this really exciting new introduction from Proven Winner. This is called pretty much Picasso, with this beautiful fuchsia center and outlined in a lime green color. So it's quite a nice contrast. It's going to work well in containers or in hanging baskets. And it'll be a nice color combination with blues or pinks or other magentas. In Ipomoeas, we have two new introductions here. We have Emerald Lace Ipomoea and also Midnight Lace in the black color. So for those of you familiar with the potato vines, these are much finer foliage varieties, more compact, and not going to take over your container like some of the other varieties have in the past. There's another new petunia from Proven Winner called Silverberry with this beautiful magenta throat around a pale pink outside flower, and a nice compact variety, very prolific, and a good variety for containers as well and hanging baskets. In the fuchsias, for the shade lovers, we have this really interesting new fuchsia. This is fuchsia firecracker. With these very handsome markings, pinks and creams and white, and then with the green, and then interestingly covered in these elongated flowers of a salmon, bright salmon color. So a favorite of the hummingbirds, but good in the shade and much more wind tolerant. Pennisetum, we have a new pennisetum this year. This is Pennisetum Advena Fireworks. And it's got these beautiful electric fuchsia color striations in the leaf. So I think it'll be a real knockout. It should be about 18 to 24 inches in height and might be a good alternative to Pennisetum rubrum, which has been around for many years. In the impatiens, we have a new impatient this year. This is a sun patient, spreading mounding habit. Much more sun tolerant than impatiens of the past, and also more prolific in the flower production. Extremely large flowers. We're going to see sun patients with this nice variegation, and there's also a solid color as well available. The papyrus we have this year, or cypress actually, is cypress baby tut, a little smaller, more compact growing cypress for containers or for the water garden as well. It'll stay in the 18 to 24 inch height range, not get quite as big as some of the past varieties have been, but really exotic looking tropical foliage and a nice fine texture. There's also a new basil, was new for us last year, but it was very popular This is basil pesto perpetuo with beautiful variegated foliage and a really nice taste. Recommended by many cooks now, and has been very popular in the last year. And that has a nice contrast to have in your garden. Also, a little known basil, but is a Greek columnar basil, which has a much neater, tidier habit than the large leafed basils of the past. So avoids that flopping nature of basil, and it's a little easier to keep going in the garden, and just a nice mild flavor.